We welcome you to Chaska High School. It's the girls' home opener for hoops here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Good evening, everybody. It's Patrick and Blake with you inside Chaska High School. Fourth game of the season upcoming for the Hawks tonight. Blake's got some insights for us. Tell us what you've seen so far.
Patrick, thanks. This Prior Lake team is young but talented. They start the season off 2-0. They'll be a tough contest tonight. They've got two exceptional sophomores. Bree Bowman, number 24, averaging 19 points over 2 games. She's a three-point threat. Number 23, Brooklyn Holmberg, averaging 13 points. Those two sophomores will lead the Lakers here as we get ready, it looks like, for the national anthem.
Waiting for the final seconds to run off the clock.
While we're waiting, I'll tell you that Chaska and Prior Lake, despite being 20 minutes from each other, haven't played since a sectional play back in February of 2018 when Mallory Heyer, last year's senior extraordinaire, now a Gopher, had 20.
Welcome you inside Chaska High School. We apologize for the technical difficulties starting out. It's Patrick and Blake. Blake, give us a quick recap of what we've seen in these first 3 minutes so far.
Well, we've seen two teams that have been trying to feel each other out here, playing some tough defense. A couple of bunnies missed. Girls scrambling for the rebounds. Not a lot of offensive action. We did get a couple of baskets. Anna Linsen went hard to the hole, got fouled, made the shot. Ashley Schulke the same, made the free throw. We stand here 5-3 here for the Hawks.
We have a foul coming up on Julia Toms. That'll be her first second team foul on the visiting Prior Lake Lakers. We had a chance to talk a little bit about the Lakers in the opening segment. Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about the Hawks, of course, Kennedy Sanders, but she's got her own good supporting cast as that one nice finish underneath for Schulke, who was one of the people I was about to bring up with you, Blake.
Yeah, Ashley Schulke, Anna Linsen, Kennedy Sanders, still remnants from the state championship basketball team from 2 seasons ago. Lots expected out of those 3 seniors, and they'll need to step up and carry the Hawks this year.
Van Helden, the 3 for the Lakers off target, and back the other way in transition quickly. Layup down for Aubrey Heyer, and the timeout will be taken by Prior Lake. That gives us a chance to catch our breath a little bit, too. Sorry for the technical issue. Rome Welter, proud sponsor of Chaska basketball tonight. Local real estate expert putting years of experience to work for you, whether you are buying or selling a home.
Emily's also a Chaska basketball coach and has been very active in the basketball youth program.
Rome team of Edina Realty. Make sure to check them out. Proud sponsor of CHBN.
Nice to see Aubrey finish with a strong layup. Her big sister Mallory is probably watching tonight. Mallory, of course, the all-time leading scorer for the Chaska Hawks, freshman at the University of Minnesota, 2,281 points by the time she wrapped up her career last season.
CeCe McNair fouled underneath, trying to get in for the layup.
See that foul's called on.
I think it'll go on Kylie Silas, but we'll wait for the PA announcement. And it will be on Silas. That's her first. Now team fouls even at 2 apiece. 9-3, the Hawks with the early lead.
The Hawks definitely have the senior advantage. There's 7 seniors on this team, and 5 are going to get a lot of playing time for sure. Kennedy Sanders, Ashley Schulke, Anna Linsen, we've talked about. Josie Lakowski and Kylie Cyrus out there on the court now. Josie also will be on the court quite a bit this season for the Hawks.
Both free throws no good. This is going to start a very tough stretch for the Lakers, who won their first 2 games. Drive for the layup goes down for Schulke, and she's off to a great start early. I'm going to say it's been after wins over Waconia and Park Center, things getting real tough real fast for the Lakers. They'll take on 3 top 10 teams in a row, with the 3 goes down from Anna Van Helden for the Lakers. They'll take on Chaska tonight, Eden Prairie tomorrow, so a brutal back-to-back, and then Wayzata next week. The shot no good, but the offensive rebound and a jump ball called underneath. So We're going to find out just how good this Lakers team really is. They've got 3 top 10 opponents on their plate starting tonight, all in a row.
In addition to that, Patrick, 8 of their first 10 teams are all on the road. So that game with Wayzata is their first one at home. Then I think it's another 5 games out. Tough for this young team. Of course, Coach Maurice Hodges is in his first year taking over the program.
Speaking of the Wayzata Trojans, that'll be the Hawks' next opponent. They won't have another game for a week. That'll be their next opponent in Plymouth next Tuesday night.
I think they're back here on Friday, next Friday against St. Michael's.
I'll be looking forward to that. We'll have an offensive foul, and the Lakers will take possession of the basketball.
Kylie Cyrus.
Silas picks up her second foul.
It's important for Kylie not to get in foul trouble. She really, at 6'3", is the Hawks' height. This team lost quite a bit of height last year with 8 seniors gone. Mallory, of course, I mentioned, Kendall Carmen, Lily Niebuhr, all provided significant height in the front court for the Hawks.
Lakers turn it over. As a rule, the ball went off of Aliyah Carter last. And now they overrule that and give the Lakers the basketball. So take that back. It's still Lakers basketball as they'll get it in on the far side. This one tips off of Brooklyn Holmberg out of bounds, and now it is a turnover officially, and Chaska basketball. Sanders working into the front court as she's guarded by Holmberg. Nice move underneath as Sanders is fouled. Trying to come in from behind for the Lakers was Holmberg.
Holmberg's quite the player as a sophomore, averaging 13 points. Plays soccer for Prior Lake, plays her AAU ball with the Metro Stars.
Well, Sanders at the line to shoot a pair. 5-point advantage early for the Hawks. As the first one no good.
With 7 points tonight, Kennedy Sanders will tie Kaylee Van Epps for 5th all-time for the Hawks. So we'll watch her point totals closely tonight.
Now 6 points away as she does hit the second. 12-6 in the early going, the Hawks with the lead. Back into the front court with the basketball is Holmberg. She'll give it off for Carter. Lakers working the ball around the perimeter as Polishin will set up for the 3 and hits it down.
She can definitely shoot. That's 2 for Lauren Polishin. 2 for 2 from behind the arc.
Sanders looking to pick up the tempo, and then the Hawks will work it on the perimeter. Sanders falls down.
Veteran play to keep her dribble. And look at that.
And the and one for Ella Kanan. So she'll go to the line to try to finish the 3-point play. Ella Keenan driving the baseline.
Foul on Anna Van Helden, her second. Nice 3-point play for Ella Keenan.
CeCe McNair checks back in for the Lakers. 12:37 to go in the opening half. 15-9, the Hawks ahead by 6. The inbound to Carter as Carter will carry into the front court. Bowman guarded well.
We'll see if they leave Lauren Polishin out there behind the arc after making her first 2 3-pointers look pretty easy.
Holmberg was trying to leave it off for Bowman, and the steal back the other way is Sanders. Sanders getting it underneath, and the left-handed finish for Keenan, her second straight trip with a basket. She has 5 points.
Good vision by Kennedy to see Ella drive the lane and get a push off there on Lukowski, it looks like.
Carter began her drive at the other end, and the foul will go on Lukowski. 4 team fouls, so each team already racking up some fouls here in the early going, just 6 minutes into the game.
Josie Lukowski for the Hawks is a lacrosse star, headed to play lacrosse in Northern
Bounds. Sanders will carry the ball into the front court for the Hawks. Leaves off for Lukowski. Schulke had a good start to this game as well. Now Sanders back with it. Sanders at the free throw line, stood up, drops the ball back, and Sanders taking the ball now. Near side, excuse me, that wasn't Sanders with the basketball. That was Keenan. Now Sanders back with it. From just inside the arc, the two for Sanders.
There you go, Sanders.
10-point lead for the Hawks, 19-9. And a travel. So another turnover on the Lakers. It's Hawks basketball. It's been kind of the trouble for the Lakers in the early going, just a lot of unforced errors.
Nice to see Prior Lake stand man-to-man. It's always my favorite defense.
Goski, the floater off the line.
Good sportsmanship there by the Hawks.
Carter, sorry.
Sorry.
Goski picks up the foul.
That's a tough situation. They had her trapped, and really from both the time clock as well as just the pressure, probably didn't need to reach in, but officials called the foul. Oh, that could be a travel. Yep, there we go.
The inbound to Traxel, as you call, they gave her the travel. That's another turnover. That was forced, though, by the good backcourt defense by the Hawks. Sanders inbounding, gets it in, quick shot off the glass, goes down for Schulke.
Schulke's having quite the game.
12-point lead for the Hawks, 21-9. We'll give Sanders the assist. Carter setting things up in the front court. Bowman on the drive, lost the ball. It's Hawks basketball.
Schulke already with 9 points tonight. Ashley's been averaging 9.7 points a game so far this young season. 3 games in. She did have 18 to pace the Hawks against Centennial to open up the campaign this year.
Sanders, nice pass inside. Been forced to back out with it as Lenzen. Good movement around the perimeter as Keenan on the drive will kick it back into the corner. Lenzen with the basketball. Back over on the near side for Heyer. Really good defense from the Lakers on this sequence as the 3 falls short from Sanders as they're trying to attack the basket, but just nothing there and had to kick it back out.
So Hawks this season started off 3-0. They started the season off over Centennial by 3 at the Pat Patterson Hamlin tournament. Senior captain Schulke, I said, had 18. Kennedy Sanders had 13. Anna Lenzen 11.
Get it inside for McNair. She can't get it to go off the glass. Gets the offensive rebound, and she's fouled.
Foul on Ella Keenan, her first.
Now 16 fouls, so the Lakers will be in the bonus going forward. So McNair can't get the first one to go.
Last Friday, the Hawks played Shakopee, a river rival, won by 4 points in a really tough game. Resiliency in the final minutes pulled them through.
A little bit of a payback game as the Sabres ended Chaska's season last year. It was probably a good feeling for some to go into the Sabres building and beat them. Not quite the same stakes, but probably felt good to get a win over them anyway. As the 3 is good for Lenzen. Inside, McNair can't get it to go, but another offensive rebound for Toms as Toms tried to get it back inside for Bowman, and it's stolen by the Hawks.
Good fundamental defense there by Aubrey.
Heyer leaves off a 3.
Get in there. Oh.
Rattles around no good, and the rebound for McNair. Toms tries to push the pace a little bit. Top of the key, tried to throw it inside as it tipped in for McNair. She was able to recover, get the shot to go down and the foul.
Foul's going to be at sophomore Alexis Schaefer, her first. Team 7th now.
It's a good play by McNair to stay with it, as that was good defense that tipped the ball, but he was able to recover to get the ball back in her possession as it was coming in.
Prior Lake's done a pretty good job getting her the ball down on the block, but it's the first time she's been able to get the basket to fall.
McNair unable to convert at the line. Hawks come back the other way, doubling up the Lakers so far, up 24-12. Lenzen at the free throw line will leave off. Ball tied up at the arc and a jump ball called.
We'll see how the team operates with Kennedy Sanders taking some well-needed minutes. A little bit of a rest, but Kennedy has been their on-court leader for a few years. We'll see what the team can do without her here.
Polishin driving inside, spins at the free throw line.
Anna Traxel plays her AAU ball with the Minnesota Stars.
Hawks set up in the front court higher. Back over for Addie Schneider, now underneath for Lenzen, too strong on the contested shot. Tom's back at the other end, nearly has it stolen away by Schulke. Does go out of bounds off of Prior Lake. It's Chaska ball. Schulke will carry the inbound up court. Under 8 minutes to play in the opening half. Over on the near side is Schneider.
Good hard screen, Aubrey. Lenzen posting up, likes to play down there, which has got a good mismatch. Sorry, Patrick.
3 balls short from Keenan and out of bounds.
Sanders back in for the Hawks.
Well, Sanders, as you said, got a nice couple minutes, but now she's right back in the fray. 7:37 to go in the opening half. A 10-point lead for Chaska, 24-14.
Kennedy, of course, on her way next year to the University of Colorado in Boulder to play D1 ball for the Buffaloes.
Trying to get it back for Bowman, but there was a little bit of a miscommunication, I think. But they'll say it went off Chaska. It'll stay with the Lakers.
Chaska followed its win over Shakopee last Friday on a game Saturday with Lakeville North at the Hopkins Tip-Off Classic. Won that game handedly by 14. Got out to a 9-point lead at now against Prior Lake.
Polishin off the inbound, lobs inside. McNair gets the finish.
4 points for CC McNair.
Sanders with the ball poked away, able to be recovered by Schulke. Schulke, nice pass underneath, but then stolen.
One too many
and
there.
They'll head for Holmberg, and she can't get the finish. The offensive rebound for Toms, and she's fouled.
Looks like that's going to be on Schulke. Will be her first. And that's right.
Schulke's with the foul, the first.
Now Toms will shoot a pair.
It's great to play unselfish basketball, but when you get that ball down on the block, go ahead and put that up.
Absolutely. Thought there was a shot available back at the Hawks' end, but extra pass allowed it to be stolen by the Lakers. Toms makes one of two, but the offensive rebound McNair, and she's able to finish. Now a 5-point lead for the Hawks, says it's a 7-0 run for the Lakers. Pass tipped, but able to be gathered in the corner by Schulke. Schulke cycles around for higher.
Good drive.
Driving her way in is Schneider, and she finishes. That ends the 7-0 run for the Lakers. It's back to a 7-point lead.
Addie Schneider, freshman, looking like an upperclassman on that play.
Another offensive rebound for McNair. As McNair then tried to go back inside for Toms. It'll be off of Sanders, and it'll stay with the Lakers. And that's been one thing I think the Hawks have struggled a little bit, is McNair has been pulling down a lot of offensive rebounds and giving the Lakers a good amount of second chances. Inbound to McNair, tapped away.
That Prior Lake clearly has a strategy to get the ball down to CC McNair. They don't have a player to match her size. They're going to have to front and deny her the ball and keep her off the boards.
We're going to have a timeout here on CHBN with 6:06 to go in the opening half. To remind you one more time that coverage presented tonight by the Rome team with Emma. Thanks for being a proud sponsor of. Appreciate the support tonight. The Rome team has helped thousands of families recently expertly transition into their next chapter. Emily and Jan are known for their networking, negotiating, and ability to get the job done. Thanks so much once again for joining us on CHBN. Brett, Blake, and Patrick here with you from Chaska High School. It's the home opener for the Hawks tonight, hosting Prior Lake. Haven't had a matchup with the Lakers in 4 years.
The Hawks were going to play the Lakers in last year's sectionals opening round, but Prior Lake finished their season early, forfeiting that as they had some challenges there at the end of the season.
Bowman working the perimeter. Bowman will take the long three and got it. Been averaging 19 points a game, and that was not a cheap three she just hit either, as Sanders blocked at the free throw line by Toms. But the offensive rebound for the Hawks.
Keep whipping it. There you go.
Sanders able to come down with this
Good
one.
passing.
Baseline jumper off the mark. Another offensive rebound, though, for Heyer. Heyer, Sanders cycles back for Schneider. Schneider kicks it back out. Driving in is Schneider, and she can't get the finish. Rebound carried up court by Polishin. Lob inside for Holmberg was knocked away. And a timeout called by the Lakers.
Lenzen back into the game for Chaska.
Anna Lenzen will be checking back in for the Hawks.
5:04 to go in this opening half, 26-22. The Hawks have led by as many as 12, but the Lakers have put together a good sustained push in the latter part of this first half to whittle that down to 4.
Prior Lake could use Bree Bowman to get hot. That last three-pointer, her first basket of the game. Cece McNair pacing the Lakers right now with 6.
And as you and I both noted, McNair has certainly been a force underneath the offensive basket. A lot of offensive rebounds. Kind of setting up with that pick and roll to just get her the ball and underneath. And hasn't had the most success shooting the ball yet, but certainly it's worked out strategy-wise that you can start to put some of those down. The inbound to Toms.
She's taking a break right now, sitting on the bench. She has no fouls, though, for the game, so expect her to be a force for the rest of this contest.
Bowman driving inside. Kind of a awkward layup wasn't there, and a foul will go on the Lakers. It'll be Chaska basketball.
Looks like on Alea Carter, her first. Team only has 5 fouls right now for the Lakers. Little pressure here coming from the Lakers. Let's see how Chaska handles it.
Keenan is back into the game for the Hawks.
Shouldn't be an issue for the Hawks.
Keenan checks back in. Sanders carrying it up court. She's guarded by Holmberg. Sanders back with the basketball. Sanders will take the long two. It was influenced and lands well short of the basket. Lakers trying to save it to tie it up, and a jump ball. It'll be Chaska basketball.
Prior Lake did a nice job get a hand on that Sanders shot. But scrappy play there on defense for Prior Lake to go get the loose ball.
Sanders will inbound. Schulke working the perimeter, back for Sanders. Sanders defended well at the arc. Lenzen driving in, tried to put it up. It was contested offensive rebound for Keenan. And she's blocked, able to get it back. Stays with it and finishes.
Keenan with the basket.
Holmberg slowing things down now at the Hawks end. Holmberg tried to drive. I think it went off of a leg. She's able to get it back. Holmberg, bounce pass inside, out of reach. Couldn't quite get it through to Polishin, who was guarded well.
Hawks are lucky that went off on Kennedy. Fortunate break for the Hawks. Up 6 with 3:50 left here in the game, or in the first half, excuse me.
Sanders will carry the inbound up court. Lakers in the bonus. 8 fouls on the Hawks. Lenzen, nice pass inside and able to get the finish is Schulke.
Basket by Schulke.
Schalke's strong game continuing as Carter able to get it underneath to McNair back in the game, and she's fouled immediately and will go to the line.
It's on Schulke, her second. Hawks are going to have to create some extra pressure down there against CC McNair. But again, they lack some of that size that's going to be a difference maker for her. This is the first.
And that's kind of been the problem for the Lakers, that they've been able to get McNair into the scoring positions, but she just hasn't been able to finish either on the layups or at the line.
One thing to watch here, Patrick, in the first half, we've got 3 Hawks with 2 fouls each, Lukowski, Silas, and Schulke. Want to make sure those don't go to 3 here before the second half starts.
McNair misses both. Sanders spinning in the lane. Can't get it to go off the back iron.
Tough start for Kennedy Sanders in her final Hawks season.
Offensive foul on Carter. Hawks leading by 8 with 3:12 to go in the opening half. Thanks for joining us here on CHBN. It's the home opener for the Chaska Hawks girls. Glad you're joining us tonight. Brett, Blake, and Patrick with you from Chaska High School. 16th foul on the Lakers, and now the Hawks will be in the bonus. Lob pass inside for Keenan. Keenan kicks it back out, and the 3 goes down. Hawks led by as many as 12. The Lakers
get around her, deflect the pass.
Steal back the other way. Sanders driving the lane, goes to the left hand, can't get it, but the offensive rebound and the putback. Keenan having a good first half.
Sophomore playing like a stud here tonight. Great half by Ella Keenan.
Carter puts it up off balance, can't get it to go, but another offensive rebound from McNair. Free throw.
Silas back in. Trenchel is back in.
Silas back in. Also has 2 fouls. Something to watch. It's basketball.
Position carrying into the front court. Bowman will take the 3 off the mark, and the rebound for Sanders. Sanders lob pass into the front court, but unfortunately couldn't quite catch the momentum of Hire, and the
Great play to get that ball low.
Back, and then the steal back at the other end. Coming into the front court is Hire. Hire with the jump hook. Can't get it to go. Put back, no. And out of bounds over to the Lakers.
Chaska just missing some of the.
45 seconds to go in the opening half. 9-point lead for the Hawks, 37-28. Sanders dekes her way into an open 3 and gets it.
And with that, Kennedy Sanders moves into 5th place all time for the Chaska Hawks.
Congratulations to Kennedy Sanders. The long 3 goes down at the other end for Bowman. That's her second 3 she's pretty much taken from that spot and buried. 9-point lead for the Hawks. Sanders layup too strong. Battle underneath, and it'll be.
That's a big miss.
Foul on Sanders, and that'll send McNair to the line off the loose ball foul with 9 seconds to go in the half.
Missed the layup, and then you foul and put them on the line for 2. 4-point swing there, potentially. We've got McNair as 1 for 3 from the line. Like that 1 for 4. Nine seconds, 9-point lead.
Misses both. Then I'm going out of bounds off of Schaefer. And she's in disbelief.
I think that's a questionable call. They're going to talk about it. That definitely went off the Prior Lake Laker. See if they reverse it. Does not.
Going to stay with Prior Lake, so the Lakers will get the last shot, likely off the turnover.
Brett, can we go to New York on that?
Brett replay center. Inbounds for Bowman, gets it in for McNair. McNair can't get it to go too strong, gets the rebound back and the finish.
That's the game.
After one half of play here on CHBN, it's Chaska 40 and Prior Lake 33. We'll come back. Blake will give you some analysis and stats. We'll come right back with our halftime update here on CHBN. We welcome you back inside Chaska High School. Wrapping up halftime, it's a 40-33 lead for the Hawks. Blake, Brett, and Patrick here with you. Blake, tell us about that first half. Give us some numbers and your observations.
Well, I tell you what, Chaska's got their hands full in containing Cecilia C.C. McNair. She led Prior Lake with 12 points. A lot of those were down low in the paint. Got to the charity stripe and made 2 for 5 from the line, but that 12 points is going to pace the Lakers in the first half, and I suspect that we'll see a lot of that in the second, as the Hawks are just having difficulty in matching up. They've got foul trouble with 5 players with 2 fouls each. Ella Keenan, Ashley Schulke, Kylie Silas, Josie Lakowski, and Alexis Schaefer. All those players providing pressure down on the block. They're going to have to figure out a way to front and deny C.C. McNair the ball.
So I think the one thing the Hawks have done well tonight is you talked about Prior Lake, a young team, and when they've put pressure on the Lakers to make a play, they have not responded very well. They've turned the ball over quite a few times, struggled with being unable to counteract the Hawks' pressure. So what do you think about the Hawks just kind of continuing to put defensive pressure on the Lakers, because they just haven't really been able to handle it?
I'd also say, watching the Hawks offensively for the last several years, this is a team that's a new identity for them, right? They don't have the bigs down low to kind of bail them out as they drive to the basket. So this team is going to try to find where that balance is from outside shooting and when to penetrate. I do like to see the passing that I've seen, and they are getting into the lane. They're driving. They're making good cuts. And I think it's just early season, 3 games in, they'll start getting some of those baskets to fall. But they are up. Hawks led by Ashley Schulke with 11 points, Ella Keenan 9. Kennedy Sanders has 9, leading the Hawks.
And I know as we get the second half started, it'll be Bowman inbounding. 7-point lead for the Hawks as we get things going. They've led by as many as 12. The Lakers got back to within 4. Then the Hawks pushed it back up to 11, but the Lakers refusing to let this game fully slip out of their reach, kind of hanging into that 7 to 10 point deficit range right now.
Just to give you a sense of this roster on Prior Lake, they have 2 seniors, Lauren Polishin and Alexa Hoschilt, and by my count, 3 juniors. So other than that, it is a team led by sophomores. It is a young group.
Bowman is fouled by Keenan. She'll go to the line to shoot a pair. Already the first possession of the second half, and another foul picked up by the Hawks. It's Keenan, that'll be her 3rd.
Something to watch. Can the Hawks play good fundamental defense without fouling?
Bowman gets the first to rattle in.
Bowman with 6 points in the first half. Hawks cannot afford to see her get hot.
Had a couple of deep threes in that opening half. As we had mentioned early in the game, this is the start of a very tough stretch for the Lakers. They've got a lot of top teams, a lot of road games. Starting tonight against the Hawks. 3 attempt off the mark from Keenan. And the rebound carried back up court by Bowman. Bowman gets it inside. McNair underneath. Was able to get it back after she had it knocked away. Tom's inside fouled.
Easy calls for the official to make. Bring that hand down. It's going to get called almost every time.
So Tom's going to go to the line and perhaps narrow this down to a 3-point Hawks lead.
Now Anna Linson with her second foul.
Her first one no good, excuse me. Toms does get the second one to roll in. 4-point lead. It's back where we were in the first half. The Lakers had pushed that 12-point deficit down to 4, and then the Hawks were able to rattle their way back up to a double-digit lead.
Missed Anna Linson on the cut there.
Sanders, step back jumper off the mark. Rebound, Bowman. Bowman will carry it into the front court. Bowman hands off for Polishin. Polishin with the long 3, and that rolls out.
Good position there by Keenan.
Get it ahead to Sanders, 2-on-1 as she drops off for the finish for hire. Sanders playing some good defense at the other end. It'll be Lakers basketball, but is there to knock that inbounds pass out of bounds.
Got a nice text from Kaylee Van Epps, who you may know is the Lehigh Mountain Hawk, D1 basketball player out in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, watching the game tonight, congratulating Kennedy Sanders for surpassing her 5th all-time for Chaska.
McNair can't get the layup, but a foul
Another
underneath.
Foul.
Well, we're only not even 2 minutes into this second half, and already 3 team fouls on the Hawks. That'll be the 3rd on Lenzen.
Jessica's going to have to watch those rebounds and second chance points and keeping Prior Lake off the offensive boards.
Inbound McNair. She gives
Playing
it back
behind.
off for Bowman. Bowman gets it inside
Such a
McNair.
tough spot to
Back
just-
things down, and she finishes the layup.
just. I'd much rather see her play around her and deny that pass in.
Lenzen
Good
cutting
drive.
inside, blocked. Rebound McNair.
Momentum here with the Lakers.
Polishin gets
Good
it
cut.
inside. Shot blocked from Van Helden. Play gets tied up. Jump ball.
Back to
And it's
Chaska.
Hawks ball. So Sanders will work into the front court. It's a 4-point game once again, 42-38. Schulke. Sanders driving the baseline. Tried to get it for
Gonna go ahead.
Lenzen.
There's
Loose
too much
ball.
walking around on that. There you go.
Ball still loose, and another jump ball. With this one will go to the Lakers.
Tell you what, I'd love to see the Hawks have a little bit more positive body language and energy here. They're allowing this momentum to be owned by Prior Lake.
Inbound to Toms. Nearly had it stolen by Heyer. Heyer with some good backcourt defense.
Julia Toms Jr. plays her basketball in the summers with Minnesota Fury. Good cut. Got to see that. Great cut.
A great pass from McNair and the finish for Bowman. 2-point game as Sanders driving at the other end. Layup, no. And the rebound for McNair.
You know, the Lakers have not been with Brooklyn Holmberg tonight. And I don't know if that's by injury or illness or coach's decision.
Polishin travels underneath the basket. 14:53 to go.
And there's Holmberg coming in. She's been sitting for quite a bit.
So McNair will sit. 3 team fouls on the Hawks. Still none on the Lakers in the early going of the second half. I think the Hawks might want to try to attack the Lakers underneath a little bit, especially now that McNair has checked out. Higher, a floater, goes down off glass.
Basket, Aubrey. Aubrey's the only one to score for the Hawks here in the second half with 4 points.
Toms for 3, yes. 1-point game. Hawks led by as many as 12, then they led by 11. The Lakers have cut it to 1. Lenzen at the free throw line. Lenzen back with it. Driving inside is fouled.
Pretty hard to the hole. Patrick, I think they're listening to you about attacking the paint, attacking that basket with McNair sitting on the bench getting some rest.
Foul will be on Polishin. That's her first team foul of the second half.
Really, Prior Lake in no foul trouble whatsoever right here.
First one rattles down.
I always say free throws matter, but they certainly matter more when it's a close game.
Kind of look back at that first half that the Lakers had quite a few misses from the charity stripe. And they could be looking at a little bit of a different game if they had been able to make a few of those as both go down for Lenzen back to a 3-point game. Into the front court with the basketball. Gets a little bit of a weak screen. Bounce pass underneath. Got it through to Toms, and she's fouled.
Well, that looked like pretty good defense. They must have snuck a hand in there and not called on the reach.
Foul will be on Sanders. That'll be her second.
Toms will shoot 2.
Toms back to the line to shoot 2 more.
Tom's looking for her 5th point of the half.
First one off the front rim.
Two for 5 from the line tonight for the junior forward.
About the Lakers have had some chances under the basket. They've had chances at the line and just haven't been able to convert as much as I think they hoped they'd be able. Looks underneath the basket free throw line. That's why they trail by 2 instead of maybe having a little bit of a lead or here in the second half. It's 11-point deficit to 1. Now they trail by 9. But if you're the Hawks, you're in a good position to just keep your foot on the gas, maybe push this lead back into the double digits and be in a good position as we work our way toward the middle stages of the second half.
I know it's early in the season, but one of the key areas of success for any quality basketball team is to assess your opponent and what they do well and where they struggle. The Hawks need to recognize that when McNair is back in the game, they're going to go back to Cecilia McNair and get that ball down low, and how you play defense, how you front her, how do you limit her from pivoting to the basket and getting quality looks. That might be the key here in the last 12 minutes. She's back on the court now.
And McNair will come back in, as you said. And that's been kind of one of the, maybe the sore points when the Lakers go back to look at the tape is McNair has generated a lot of chances of rebounds, but a lot of empty trips nonetheless as a steal nearly by Sanders. Now she is able to gather the ball in.
That.
Jump ball.
Smart play, Kennedy.
Chaska basketball.
That happened because she was well positioned on defense, had her eye on her player and the ball. Easy to get her hand on it. Great positioning by the senior Colorado commit.
Sanders works the ball into the front court, drive the lane, kicks to Lukoski. Lukoski for 3.
Big basket.
Buries it.
The lacrosse superstar can fill it up from outside.
12-point lead as the 3 for Van Helden goes down at the other end. Sanders spinning, lost the basketball, able to get it back.
So that floor's been sanded down and looks great, but they look like they're sliding a little bit. Big basket by Kylie Silas.
Silas from inside in the key, able to bury that one. It's back to a double-digit lead for the Hawks.
Hawks looks defensively to stay behind McNair. Good basket, good cut.
Holmberg with the layup.
Her first basket of the game. She's been averaging 13 points a game so far this year.
9-point lead for the Hawks, 11:37 to play in the game. Lukoski works on the near wing for the 3.
Track it down.
Play gets tied up, and the jump ball will favor Chaska. Although I think they might have forgotten to change the arrow because I think they decided it would be Laker basketball. Inbound as Traxel works it into the front court. Van Helden guarded by Schaefer. Gets it to McNair.
I do like the motion offense Prior Lake runs. We'll see if the Chaska defenders can follow the golden rule of defense and not letting the player cut between you as the defender and where the basketball is.
McNair lost the basketball, was able to get it back. Spins her way inside and one.
Boy. It's a big call right there. Basket counts.
Basket is good by McNair. She will shoot 1. Foul on Silas is her 3rd.
Silas picks up the foul. That's her 3rd. Just over 7 minutes into this second half. McNair will try to cut it to a 6-point deficit. Then she is able to rattle it down to finish the 3-point play. It's a 6-point game.
Just under 11 minutes here. Again, no shot clock.
Lukoski's pass slipped through, but able to be recovered by Schulke. Schulke works into the lane. Layup, no, but a foul. Holmberg
Really
was staying
movement.
with her step for step. Holmberg will pick up the foul.
Good shake and bake there by Ashley Schulke.
Second foul on Holmberg.
Schulke headed next year to Concordia St. Paul.
First one
there
off the mark. Lenzen will check back in. Schaefer will get a break.
Rooting for Anna tonight is Ken and Pam Klaus in Palestine, Texas, watching from way down south tonight.
1 of 2 at the line. It's a 7-point game. It's Traxel too strong on the layup. McNair the rebound, got it, and one again.
Well, this is where the game's going to be won or lost, I think, for the Hawks.
McNair heating up. We talked about all those offensive rebounds, but she was struggling to get the ball in the basket in the second half. She's really been heating up and able to finish some of these offensive rebounds. Second straight possession with a three-point play opportunity for McNair. Can't get the free throw to go, though.
Well, you can't coach size. Hawks are going to have to play bigger than what the stat sheet shows them for height. They have to find a way to box out and move their feet on defense and control some of those opportunities.
Hawks working the ball around the perimeter. 10-10 to go with Lenzen will take the three off the front rim. No.
Watch deep.
And the rebound Polition. This Polition trying to get a hold on it.
Oh, boy. That looked like a pretty good hustle play. I'm going to call Josie with the foul, her third.
Olakowski with that foul, and now the Lakers will be in the bonus.
And we've got 10 minutes left, Patrick. Free throws for Prior Lake will make a difference here tonight.
Olakowski will shoot the 1-and-1.
These are Polition's first free throws of the night. She was, I think, 3 for 4 from the three-point line. See what she does at the charity stripe.
She was able to get the first one. No, they'll out multiple times, just refused to go away. They've faced 3 double-digit deficits that they've trimmed all the way back down to 4-3, and now 3 once again. Stretch pass knocked out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Hawks.
Not much of an advantage there if that pass is completed. I've seen highlights, though, of Kennedy's powder puff football quarterbacking skills. She and Josie Lakowski hooked up for some touchdowns this season, I saw.
Leaves off for Schulke. Schulke gives.
Good
Layup is there for Keenan.
Guard.
Polition loses the ball on a drive. It'll stay with the Lakers. 3 team fouls on the Lakers, so they'll have a ways to go to get in the bonus if you're the Hawks. The inbound to McNair.
Hold your ground.
There, nice pass and out of bounds.
The ball.
Off of
Good
Bowman.
defense. Foul starting to rack up for the Hawks. They just got to play smart, fundamentally sound here on out. Expect Prior Lake to test that strategy.
Sanders into the front court, leaves with Heyer. Heyer, getting it back for Keenan. Can't finish the layup. Offensive rebound, though, for Keenan, and taken away by the Lakers.
Remember, you're in the bonus here, Hawks. But you got to hustle back.
Polition.
Good
defense by Sanders. Polition tried to get the pass back off the baseline. Floater for Lenzen off the mark, and Toms with the rebound. Under 9 minutes to play as we pass the midpoint of the second half, a 5-point
There you
lead.
go. That's great defense. Moved her feet, tipped the ball, steal, basket.
Sanders, no on the layup, but she'll go to the line.
That was textbook defense. Textbook. Ella Keenan saw that McNair was posting up, moved her feet around to the backside, got her hand on the ball, led to a layup attempt, and Kennedy Sanders on the line.
That'll be the first foul on Traxel. 4th team foul. Sanders hits the first.
2 for 3 from the line by my count.
As you said, a big night for Kennedy Sanders as she moved into 5th place all time on the Hawks scoring list. A lane violation should be called on Tom, but she got a very early break. So Sanders will get a do-over.
Chuckles in the crowd. It was that early. And Sanders converts. Nope, doesn't.
1 for 2 for Sanders.
Jinxer did the Jim Nance jinx.
It's Blake's fault. Send the nasty messages to Blake. Nice finish by Bowman on the layup.
Back to 4 points.
Schulke working in for Keenan. Schulke in the corner. Leaves it back for Sanders.
It seems like they're slipping a little bit, doesn't it?
Does look like they are slipping. That's
Big
a three
basket
from
here.
the near side for Hire.
Huge.
She got it.
Big basket, Aubrey.
Aubrey Hire with the big 3. It's a 7-point lead. Collision inside for
hold your
McNair.
ground, hands up.
McNair gets the layup.
Okay, no fouls there.
This evening.
Yeah, I want to take a moment and just recognize Chaska business owner and ultimate Superhawk John Lenzen passed away recently on September 17th at age 79. Hard to think of anyone who supported the Chaska Hawks area unconditionally more than John Lenzen. He radiated Chaska, his friends, family, faith, and fun, just not Fords. Proud owner of Lenzen Chevrolet and Buick and super sponsor for the Hawks. Our love goes out to the Lenzen family today and going forward.
As we do send our best to the Chaska community and to the Lenzen family for the support of the Hawks as well as the Chaska community. We come out of the timeout. The Hawks will inbound with a 5-point lead, 7:44 to play.
3 Cola.
Polition guarded by Sanders. Polition gets the screen from McNair inside for Van Helden.
Good jump ball.
And the jump ball will favor the Hawks.
Tell you what, big defensive stand there. Let's see if they can stretch that back to 10. This is going to be a game of momentum shifts. 8-point lead here with just over 7 to play.
Keenan.
Oh, good cut. Good cut by Aubrey Hire. Big
Sanders,
basket, long range.
Go
get it.
Front rim.
Go get it.
Sanders gets her own rebound. Nice
Oh,
pass
what a
inside,
pass.
and
What
the
a pass.
finish for Schulke.
Great finish from Schulke. Great assist to Sanders.
Back to a 10-point lead, 7 minutes
That's
to play,
defense.
and the steal.
Ella Keenan showing up on the defensive
3-on-1
end.
into the front
Good
court.
pivot.
Keenan
Get in there.
spins,
Oh.
can't get it to finish. Offensive rebound for Lenzen, no, but the foul.
Cannot say enough about Ella Keenan's post defense and how important that is here in the second half. Let's make these free throws on Lenzen.
It's 4 on Van Helden.
She is the only one in foul difficulty for the Lakers. Nobody else more than 2.
Lenzen does unable to get the first as Van Helden will sit now with the 4 fouls. And Holmberg back in.
I think I saw in the Gophers' double overtime win against Penn State, they were 23 of 25 in the second half and overtime period from the free throw line. Just shows you how important free throws are. Let's see if the Hawks can knock these down.
Lenzen hits the second.
It's 3 for 4 from the line in the second half.
Polition will push the pace a little bit. Lakers need to come up with some buckets.
Keep playing defense on McNair. They should be okay.
Holmberg.
Run the clock. Don't put them on the stripe. Play fundamental defense. Watch the cutters. Know that they're going to work the ball around to McNair. Stay down. Help out low. Don't give up the foul. Offensive? Yep. Great call.
Offensive foul on McNair. Wipe of the basket. It's Hawks basketball.
Player control foul on McNair, the first.
First on McNair. That's a 6th team foul.
Tell you, Ella Keenan only has, well, she's got 11 points, which is not too shabby, but her defensive pressure and her smart play in the second half is making the difference here for Chaska.
Sanders working for a Hire.
Again, there's no shot clock, so be smart here. You're up 11, six minutes left. Work the clock, tire out the Lakers.
Sanders floater rims in and out. Offensive
Big
rebound.
basket by Lenzen, and the
down.
foul. Woo!
And the foul. Polishin picks up her second foul. 3-point play opportunity for the Hawks. Largest lead of the game for the Hawks at 14, 74-60, 6 minutes to play in the game.
Big play for the University of Mary Marauder, future Marauder next year, where she's committed to play basketball.
Holmberg spinning inside, blocked, but the foul.
I think that's going to be on Aubrey. See what we got.
Holland-Heyer is her second.
I had first. There we go. First foul on Aubrey Heyer.
Never argue with Blake's stat sheet. It's probably going to be the one who's right. They do a wonderful job down there, though. Don't get us wrong. We're just having some friendly ribbing.
Holmberg, her third point, again averaging 13, has a high of 18 in her first two games. So Hawks have kept her from the point tallies here mostly tonight.
Holmberg's second shot rims out.
All right, let's see how smart we can play here. Up 13. Just, well, take the layup, you got it. And the foul, no call, but Sanders with the hoop.
Sanders had an easy trip through the lane there.
Patrick, I was going to call for some patience, but I guess when you see a wide open lane, you take it.
Polishin hits another three. That's her fourth of the game. Oh, the Lakers not quite out of it yet, down by 12 with 5:20 to play.
This is where you can just make them tired, get a couple easy layups.
So unable to make the short-range hook was Keenan, but a foul. It'll be a jump ball, I suppose. I apologize, but it'll be Laker basketball either way.
McNair back in for the Lakers. Let me guess where the ball's going to go here.
Well, they have to get it to the other end first.
And they're not gonna.
Stolen and unable to finish off the steal was Keenan.
Just be smart here.
Keenan from Sanders.
The only thing you got to watch out here is don't get a foul and stop the clock and put them on the free throw line.
Under 5 minutes to play, back to a 14-point lead.
Pressure without punishment. No fouls. Don't stop that clock. Chaska, as you will usually find them, in a man-to-man defense. Good defense.
Keenan ends up with the basketball. She leaves for Sanders.
4.5 left.
Sanders on the drive and the finish.
Her ability to change pace and get to the basket with balance, one of the best in the state.
Schulke will be called for the kicked ball, and she really stretched out to knock that one down. Lakers will get a timeout.
Oh. Coach is unhappy. I think he's upset about not getting a timeout call.
He was walking down the court. You could hear him yelling, timeout, timeout. Oh, next up for the Hawks a week from tonight, they'll be at Wyzetta. That'll be a good early season test, heading up to Plymouth to take on the highly rated Trojans.
Well, the key to that stretch, I will tell you, was Ella Keenan's defense. Prior Lake got it down to within 4 points again. Ella Keenan with a couple of really pivotal post-defensive stops, tipping the ball, pressure on McNair, causing Chaska to go the other way with points. I think we've got a timeout here at the bench. What do we got here? I think we're ready.
I think we're about ready to resume play.
It's kind of a weird timeout here. I think last we were here, we had a kicked ball. It's Prior Lake's ball. Hawks providing a little pressure. Can they do this without fouling here?
And the officials table is signaling that they're not ready for play. Not sure what Is
there a dance party going on over there, Patrick? What do we got here at the? Okay, I think we got the thumbs up. We're ready to roll. It's 8:22 here in Carver County. Game back on. Chaska, don't foul. Be smart. Don't let them create problems for you defensively.
Toms forced back outside. Holmberg, no.
Don't give it to
offensive rebound for McNair, and she's fouled.
There are times in which you're just going to lose position. That's okay. Don't make it worse by making the foul.
It'll be the 4th on Keenan. And I think at that point, when
Just
you're
give
up
it
16 with 4 minutes left to play, certainly don't want to just give them buckets, but I think at some point you kind of say, just exercise the better part of valor, and if they get a bucket, they get a bucket.
Yeah, and especially with 4 fouls. Keenan's been a difference on McNair here in the second half.
McNair does get the second of the 2. 15-point lead, 80-65.
McNair takes a break. Maybe Hawks are going to see a little bit more pressure. Speedy team out for Prior Lake out on the floor. Schulke handling the pressure.
Schneider.
See if the Hawks can show patience here. There you go.
Schneider works her way back toward the near side and took steps.
Boy, that's tough. Looked to me that pivot was set, but I'm up here and not close enough to make that call. Yeah, I expect this back and forth substitution on dead balls. McNair back in on offense.
The McNair took one of the shorter breathers you're going to see. She's right back in with 4 minutes left to go.
Can Keenan stay defensively solid here and not pick up her 5th?
Bowman will take the 3 and
big basket.
Brings it down 80-68. Nice pass ahead for Schneider as Schneider drops it for Lenzen. Lenzen spinning in the lane, kicks it back out.
Oh boy.
And then lost out of bounds by Schneider. I kind of think this is that point you were talking about a couple of times, that you don't have to rush anything with the clock running down in the game.
No shot clock here in high school girls basketball.
Not yet, anyway.
Right. I think one day it'll come. Kicks it out for 3.
Holmberg for 3 off the mark. Tipped around, able to be held in nicely as Holmberg off the rebound will finish with the layup. 10-point game, 3:20 to play. Sanders.
So often when, I'm sorry.
Sanders back with the basketball, I apologize.
No, I'm talking over you, Patrick. Just so often when the other team has intensity and urgency to score, you feel sometimes offensively you have to match it, but you don't.
Lukowski with the big floater, and then the turnover at the other end as Bowman had to go off of her leg. 2:56 to go. It's a 12-point lead for the Hawks. Got it ahead for Lenzen. Lenzen for Lukowski. Lukowski had a shot blocked. Back the other way is Holmberg with the basketball. Toms will work it around the perimeter. The 3 from Polishin.
Good position,
off.
Keenan.
Sanders lobs this one ahead for Lukowski, as Lukowski will just throw it back out for Schaefer, and the steal. Holmberg racing back up court with Schaefer. And Schaefer got in good position and unable to finish on the layup was Holmberg.
Okay, let's take a breath here. 2 minutes. You're up 12. I would say, unless you see a layup, I'm going to work that clock a little bit. There's
Sanders gets it and the foul.
Points and the punishment.
Sanders' basket is good, and she will shoot 1.
Foul will be on Toms. That's her second.
Higher comes in, as does Trash.
Sanders with 12 points in the second half, 9 in the first, so 21 tonight. Pacing the Hawks.
Sanders looking to complete the 3-point play, and she does. Holmberg ahead was met, and the foul will go on Sanders underneath the basket. So Holmberg rolled to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Third on Sanders. 10th team foul, so the rest of the way will be double bonus for the Lakers. She drops the first one down.
Her 6th point of the game, and all coming here in the second half.
Holmberg hits both. Sanders off the inbound. 2 minutes to go in the game. It's a 13-point lead for the Hawks.
There you go. Good kick out. 150 and
Lakoski
counting.
cuts inside and turns it over, trying to kick it back out. Holmberg with the takeaway. Holmberg was trying to get it back for Traxel, but he was caught up between a couple of Hawks players, and the Hawks come away with the steal. Lenzen nearly turned it over. Sanders able to recover. Sanders from just inside the arc, off the mark, and the rebound, though, for Lakoski.
80 seconds left.
Hawks
Looks
looking
like
to close this one out, as you were saying. Lakoski gets it inside. Lenzen was wide open in the finish.
Love it, love it, love it.
Lenzen from Lakoski.
That's the way to work the clock and get yourself a layup.
1 minute to go. Hawks up by 15.
Well, as this game winds to a close,
Van Helden from the baseline.
the Hawks will use this game to learn from how to play against a team that's got a good post. They're going to play some teams this year, especially in the Metro West, that have got some size, and they're going to have to figure out how to use team defense to keep those post players from getting the ball and hurting them when they lack height and size and physicality down low.
Timeout Hawks with 43.1 left. Our next broadcast of Chaska girls basketball will be next Friday, December 16th, when the Hawks host the St. Michael Albertville Knights. That'll be another 7 o'clock tip. That'll be next Friday night here on CHBN. Thanks for joining us tonight. Let's one more time. Thanks to our sponsor with the Rome team, Emily Rome Welter is your local real estate expert, putting years of experience to work for you, whether you are buying or selling a home. I'll be honest, I forgot my sheet, and I'm sorry for kind of the disjointed reads. With the Rome team, we are so grateful for your sponsorship of CHBN.
Senior Amelia Hartford into the game for the Hawks.
She gets the basketball. Lenzen fouled. And that will be 5 on Van Helden.
I had the opportunity to assistant coach for Amelia Hartford, number 14 for the Hawks, back in 8th grade, and had such heart and energy and intensity. Love to see her as a senior finishing her basketball career here with Chaska. Proud of her resiliency and hard work.
Well, Carter comes in to take Van Helden's place as Van Helden fouls out with 39.4 left. Lenzen at the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Lenzen's been pretty
First
solid
one
from
down.
the stripe. That's 4 or 5. I've got her 5 for 6 here in the second half.
Inside for Traxel. She'll kick it back out for the 3, and that will go down for Bowman. 25 seconds remaining. 12-point lead for Chaska. Lenzen. Sanders. down to 10. It's Hartford with the basketball. Leaves it for Sanders, and the clock will run out. Opening night victory for the home opener, I should say, for the Hawks, as they defeat a very resilient Prior Lake team by a final score of 89-77. It was a great win for the Hawks tonight. A resilient win over a Lakers team that just would not go away no matter how many times they were put in what looked like a game-defining hole, but the Lakers fought back again and again. But the Hawks just had the clutch in them tonight to make the big play to put the game back out of reach.
For the Hawks tonight, unofficially, I've got Kennedy Sanders pacing Chaska with 22 points, Anna Linzen with 19, Ashley Schulke 17, Aubrey Heyer adding 9, Ella Keenan with some amazing defense and 11 points, Kylie Silas with 2, and Addie Schneider, the freshman, with 2 points for the Hawks.
All contributing to a great victory for the Hawks tonight. They improved to 4-0 on the regular season. They'll have a week off, then they'll take on Wayzata next Tuesday. And our next broadcast of Chaska girls basketball on CHBN will be next Friday night when they host the St. Michael Albertville Knights. For Brett and Blake, this is Patrick Lilia with you from Chaska High School. The final score, the Hawks 89, Lake Lakers 77. We will catch you next Friday night. That's our next broadcast. But get up to Wayzata and pack the place with purple next Tuesday night against a tough Trojans team if you can make the trip. Otherwise, catch us back here Friday night next week when the Hawks host the Knights of St. Michael Albertville. For Brett and Blake, this is Patrick. We'll catch you